Welcome. I am Eric with Muathe.com, and I greet you, beloveds, in the love and in the light of the one infinite creator. So today we're going to be taking a look at a stock that is having a substantially amazing up day for November 2nd, 2021. And as the markets are making all-time highs for the Dow, Nasdaq, and S&P 500, let's take a look at the top gaining stock for today alone. And the stock is CAR, ticker symbol CAR, and it is up towards the close about 106% for today's gain alone, trading at about 350. So a doubling in price overnight as we come close to the end of the session. Now, I want to discuss something I've discussed many months ago, which is the idea that on the day when you are buying a fresh breakout, it makes a lot of sense to concentrate on the top gaining stocks in your list of stocks that you are tracking. So this is a list of stocks that I track for clients, and I usually start from the top gainers and go down, and I'm looking for stocks that have gained at least for the day, let's say somewhere north of 5%. I want them to show that they can move. And so even on a day-to-day basis, I want to see a price appreciation. So for today, I don't think I got as far as looking at stocks that were down. Let me correct myself. So today I've only looked at stocks that have gained 10% plus as I was considering which candidates to send breakout alerts for clients. So the reason for this is the ones that move on a day-to-day basis tend to be future winners in the weeks and months ahead. Let me illustrate this point. So today we're going to be taking a look at this top gainer for today. Big move. In fact, it even moved the transportation index to all-time highs, which is the Dow Transports. Today did see a move to fresh all-time highs because of this one stock, CAR. Now, of course, today is the second trading day for November, but let's go back to September price action. So what we have here is a couple of spreadsheets that are day-to-day top gainers in the US markets. This is from September 10th. So from September 10th, the stock was the 31st top gaining stock in the market, trading at $86, $87. It was up about 5% on that day, which was September the 10th. So let's just go here. I'll show highlight some areas. Now, the next day we're looking at here is September 22nd. September 22nd, about, let's call it 2 weeks later. Again, now the stock is trading at 100 and was up for the day 6%. Okay, let's move on. We can see here now the following day, the next day's September 23rd, stock now trading at 108 was up an additional 8%. Remember, trading at 108 September 23rd and up 8% for that day. Again, what we are seeing here is when an instrument is moving, it tends to move in large chunks. That is why it tends to eventually, over time, outperform most of the stocks out there. So let's go to another day around that same time period. And now we're in September 27th. The same stock now trading at 121. A couple of days later, up another 8%. So you see the moral of the story here, an additional 8%. Clearly, institutions are chasing this name. Let's take a look at another day. So now we're in October, and for this day, by the end of the day, the stock was trading at about 128, 129, and it had gained 6.5% for that day alone. This is October the 5th. Okay, now we get the picture. The last day I'm going to highlight here is October the 8th of 2021. Now the stock is trading at 138 ended the day up an additional 9%. For the day alone, on October 8th, stock was up another 9%. So you get the picture here. Now let's take a look at the charts. Now, before I do, I really wanted to highlight something that shows how complex the market is. This stock was trading here in February, the highs of February 2020. We can call that north of 52. And within 2 months had recorded a low under $9. This is a complexity of a market. This is early 2020. $9 by March of 2020. Markets are complex because eventually we see this amazing run. But now back to the point I'm trying to highlight here, which is all this price action that I was talking about were taking place here in September and October of 2021. Now, what we can see here also is why playing breakouts makes a lot of sense. Putting things in perspective, after this volatile reversal period in February and in March of 2020, we see that the stock comes back, changes its mind, or the market changes its mind. And why not? We change our minds, so stocks and markets can do the same. So we see a breakout here eventually. As of January 2021, we can say that breakout is at about, let's call it above 35, 36. 35, 36. Mid-30s. So there's a breakout here as of January 2021. Now that breakout, I always like and highlight that so we can understand what moves stocks. We can see by then. Take a look at your RSI. Take a look at your MACDs. We can see that for sure we have all the minimum requirements for the RSI and the MACDs, which is the ultimate Muathe breakout. But this is not the reason for this video. But it's always good to show it whenever a move begins. Now, what I want to talk about here is, if I had asked you if you were willing to buy the breakout, let's say if you are interested in this stock, let's say here in the 40s and lower 50s, would you have been interested? Given that it had broken out, you probably say no. Why? Because it's extended from the breakout level, which is this, let's say this monthly closing high. So you'd say, no, I'm not interested. It's extended, needs to pull back. But we see that ultimately what happens is it continues moving higher and then settles again here. And as of this date, which is September 10th, it looked like the monthly breakout was stalling. And maybe some people got stopped out. In fact, I would assume some people did get stopped out. But remember, even in that phase, with this pullback here, your RSI continued to hold above 69.1. So there was really no major sell signal, just a pullback within a strong setup. So let's move forward a little bit. Now remember, this is a snapshot of the monthly chart as of September 2021. Now, here is the question. Now remember those examples of day-to-day moves. These day-to-day moves were taking place in this period. Clearly, we were breaking out, of course, based on the prior monthly closing high. This was already breaking out. In fact, it was working on month number 2 of this breakout. Now, it's a big question I'm going to ask you is, would you have been interested in buying this stock here in the 115, 110, 120 price level? Probably the answer would be a resounding no. And in fact, I did the same thing. What happened is I was setting I was actually preparing a breakout alert for clients somewhere, let's say around here. But the stock moved 8% above my buy point. So I was like, you know what? It's a little bit extended. I'll wait for a pullback. That's what I did. So if I take out all of these things, surely there would be some hesitation to chase a breakout that is well above the buy point. If we take the buy point to be under 89, stocks trading at 115, you'd say, you know what? This one has left me. I'm going to play the next breakout. Right? But I want us to keep something here in perspective is when the great ones start moving, they generally don't give anybody a chance. Now, I never did send out that alert for that particular stock on this day. It did not make my list just because of the strong move. This is September the 16th and the breakout alert is right here. The buy point was at 94.24. The stock was just under 100. But sometimes you'll miss them based on strength. So anyway, that's not the point of the video. The point of the video is strong instruments tend to be top gainers on a day-to-day basis. So I, like you, completely let go of this breakout alert and was hoping for a pullback. Let's say hoping for a pullback, sideways action, then a future breakout. In theory, would have been the next potential entry level. And sometimes that's the best way to go. Wait for the next breakout instead of chasing something that is extended that could be due for a normal healthy correction. So this was as of end of September 2021. Now, as of today, mid-morning, the stock was trading as high as 545, and the breakout was right there. And all the moves that I was showing at the beginning of the video were day to day. It was one of the top gainers in the market is somewhere here. So clearly, without any doubt, there are some institutions, or let's say market participants, that were chasing the stock here because they could somehow see this potential. So what looked like an extended move, so back to the September time frame, this looked very extended from the normal eyes, but clearly this move, now we can see on hindsight, was anticipating this monster continuation of the move. In other words, the best ones tend to repeat. And that's why I began the video by saying that even on the day you buy a stock, insist it is up substantially in terms of percentage for the day. If it's up only 1% for the day and you buy the breakout, chances are it's not a strong stock. But the ones that gain 20%, 15% on the day of the breakout, the ones that gain big chunks as they break out, they tend to have these types of a potential for a substantial move down the road. Now, it should be said that generally speaking, you don't want to go anywhere from 5% to about 8% from your buy point. So whatever your buy point is from a breakout standpoint, you don't want to go too far chasing an instrument. Why? Because even a normal pullback, which happens a lot, by the way, a normal pullback coming back to test the breakout level and then bounce higher will stop you out. So generally speaking, as a general rule, we try not to chase above 5 to 8% above the breakout level. And yet we can see a perfect example why sometimes you can chase. But what you can do, this is a monthly chart here. So this is a monthly chart. What one can do is you can go to the smaller time frames, let's say the daily, wait for a break for a couple of days and buy the fresh breakout, which will now give you a higher breakout level. And you can still use the 5% to 8% rule. So again, if you're really chasing this, is what you can do if you miss the monthly breakout and you still have an interest in the name, let's say, you can go to the next time frame. So this is monthly, right? You get a breakout right there. So you missed it. All right, that's all good. Go to the weekly. Now, in this case, we can see the weekly did not give you any rest. This thing broke out and has had essentially back to back to back to back to back to back positive gains. This is the weekly chart. To be clear, this is the weekly. So, okay, no entry on the weekly. Let's check the daily. And the daily, you're going to see that there was some other entry levels. There's a couple days rest here and a breakout. That's a choice, an option. There's a couple days rest here. Couple days. Remember, this thing is moving. So there's another breakout there. There's a couple days rest and another breakout here. Now we're in October. There's a couple days rest here and a breakout. And even as of today, there was a fresh couple days rest, and today this thing just exploded. So yes, we don't get weekly entry levels or monthly breakout levels, but we do get daily breakout. Maybe the best thing to do is show this from a closer point of view. And so this is the 6 months daily, 3 months daily chart. 3 months daily, and these other breakout levels. Let's go. There's a breakout here, another breakout there, another daily breakout there, and this breakout. So you can chase based on the smaller time frames and still observe your stops and your maximum, let's say 5 to 8% chasing from your breakout level. And at the same time, this is also your maximum loss exposure in terms of where to set your stop from your entry price to protect your capital. Which brings me back to where I started this video, is when the stock is moving, as it was moving here in September, it was moving in chunks. 5% daily gain, 8%. We saw a couple of 8% daily gains. We saw a 9% daily gain. All of this was happening during this phase. In other words, the market was aware that there was a potential for this down the road. And so it is. I am Eric Muathe with Muathe.com, and it is a great joy to leave you as I found you in the love and in the light of the one infinite creator. Go forth therefore, rejoicing in the power and in the peace of the one creator. Namaste.